Have you ever paused and looked around your life? Truly looked and asked, what's helping me grow, and what's quietly holding me back? Why do we carry so much pain in silence? We smile on the outside, yet deep within, we carry invisible weights, unspoken, unresolved. We know what hurts us, but still we hold on. Every day we check our phones, scroll through endless noise, smile politely, go to work, come back home. And yet, something feels heavy, something unspoken, a silent ache no one sees. It's like holding a glass of water at arm's length. At first it feels light, but keep holding it for hours, and your arm starts to tremble. That's exactly how emotional burdens work. The longer we carry them, the heavier they feel, even if no one else notices. There are things we need to let go of, not with drama, not with noise, but in silence, deeply, quietly, peacefully. And that's what this journey is all about. Welcome to Insightful Journey, a space where simple, powerful insights rooted in timeless teachings, especially from Buddhism, are gently shared. Here, we don't force change. We invite it, not with pressure, but with peace. If you feel even the smallest shift inside you while watching, then stay. You're in the right place. So many watches these videos, yet only 0.2% subscribe. If our content speaks to you, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. You being here matters more than you realize. Over the next 12 parts, we'll explore the invisible enemies of the heart and mind. Some are loud, like anger. Others are quiet, like self-doubt. But they all need to be released, one by one. As the Buddha said, drop by drop, the water pot is filled. Let these videos be your drops of calm, no rush, no force, just quiet shifts, until your life transforms, gently. Let's begin. Let's step into stillness. Let's start letting go. Ego, the illusion that binds us. Sit with me. Breathe. No need to hurry. Let the world keep spinning. You're here now, present. There's something inside you. It walks with you, talks with you. It whispers, this is who I am. It says, I'm better. Or sometimes, I'm not good enough. It compares. It competes. It wants to win. And when someone disagrees with it, it gets hurt or angry. That thing is called ego. Ego is not your enemy, but it's also not your true self. It's like a mask, a voice that sounds like you but isn't you. Like a shadow, it follows you, yet it has no true form. Let me share a Zen story. A young student came to a master and said, I want to learn the truth. The master smiled and poured him a cup of tea. He kept pouring and pouring until the tea overflowed. Startled, the student cried, Stop! The cup is full. The master replied, Exactly. You are full of your own ideas. How can I pour truth into a cup that's already overflowing? That's the ego. It fills our minds with me, mine, and I. And when our cup is full of ego, there's no space for wisdom to enter. No peace can stay. Even happiness leaks out. Ego is clever. It wears many disguises. Sometimes it shows up as pride, other times as fear. It can hide in the desire to be right, to win, to be praised, to be noticed, and sometimes it wears the mask of victimhood, seeking sympathy, clinging to sadness for attention. But the question is, are you ready to see beyond the mask? Buddhism teaches us that ego is an illusion. It's not something solid or fixed. It's a thought, a belief, a habit. Like mist on a mirror. It distorts what we see, making us believe the mist is the mirror. But behind it, the true reflection waits. The Buddha didn't say, destroy the ego with violence. He said, understand it. Watch it. See how it moves. So let's do that. When someone praises you, do you feel bigger inside? When someone criticizes you, Do you feel smaller? That's ego reacting. Whether you feel superior or inferior, it's the same ego, just wearing different clothes. Ego creates division. It says, I am this, you are that. We are not the same. But the truth is, beneath the surface, beyond our roles and stories, we are one. Have you ever argued with someone only to later think, why did I say that? That wasn't me. You're right, it wasn't. It was your ego. Afraid of being wrong, afraid of being small, afraid of losing control. And the more ego tries to control life, the more it suffers, because life cannot be controlled. Life is like the wind. You can't grasp it, only dance with it. Ego also fears silence. In silence, it begins to dissolve. That's why many people can't sit still. Their ego starts to panic. Do something, say something, be someone. But if you remain still, ego melts, and your true self begins to shine. Ego is like a loud drum, constantly beating to prove it exists. But your soul is like the ocean, deep, quiet, and infinite. Here's a story. A wise monk was walking through the forest with his students when a proud warrior approached. One final reflection from the Zen master: you are not your mistake. You are the awareness that grew after. You are not the pain. You are the healer. You are not the past. You are the path ahead. So let your heart unclench. Let the chains fall softly. You are allowed to be free. You are allowed to begin again. And in the quiet space that follows, you may just find that peace was waiting patiently for you to forgive yourself. It reveals that you were never empty to begin with. It clears away the dust of roles, labels, and fears. And underneath you find awareness itself. Still, calm, present, whole. The Zen master finally looked at the group and said, you spend your life polishing masks, but the mirror of truth has always been waiting underneath. False identity, the great forgetting. From childhood we're told who we are, not based on our stillness but on achievement. Be a good boy. Make your parents proud. Don't be weak. And so we grow up chasing a version of ourselves that was never truly us. You are not your grades. You are not your failures. You are not your past. You are not your social media profile. You are not your trauma. You are the awareness behind all of these things. The one who watches, learns, evolves. Why this matters? Because when you believe your mask is your face, you suffer when the mask cracks. When your identity is built on beauty, you fear aging. When it's built on success, you fear failure. When it's built on praise, you fear rejection. But when your identity is built on awareness, on presence, on truth, nothing outside can shake your peace. The Zen master whispered, real peace begins when you stop trying to be someone and start simply being. A practice for today: sit for 5 minutes. No phone, no role, no task, just breathe. Ask gently, who am I when no one is watching? Let the answers come and go. Titles, names, doubts, let them drift. Then say softly to yourself, I am not the mask. I am the sky. The sky is not disturbed by passing clouds. Your awareness is not broken by passing stories. Final reflection. A seeker once asked the Buddha, what is the self? He replied, there is no fixed self. There is only the one who watches, the one who sees through illusion. Let that be your freedom. You don't have to protect a false identity. You don't have to live in a cage of expectations. You can return to your nature, still awake, free. You're not becoming anything. You are remembering who you were before the world told you who to be. Final teaching. Embracing emptiness, becoming free. This is not the end of the path. This is the space where the path disappears and you no longer walk toward freedom. You realize you are it. The Zen master leans back against the tree and says, "You do not become free by adding more. You become free by letting go." Let us reflect on the last steps of this quiet journey. Emptiness is full of truth. When the cup is empty, it can be filled. When the mind is empty, it can be clear. When the heart is empty, it can be light. Don't fear the silence. Fear the noise that never lets you rest. Don't fear the stillness. Fear the storm of always needing more. In emptiness, all is possible. In stillness, you begin again. No fixed self means endless potential. When you drop who you think you should be, you start to feel who you truly are. And that presence is beyond description. It doesn't need a name. It doesn't live in the past. It doesn't care for likes, applause, or comparison. It is simply here. Now enough. Flow with life, not against it. We suffer not because of pain, but because we say, "This should not be." The river of life flows, not perfectly, but honestly. Stop trying to control the current. Let life teach you. Let life shape you. And above all, let life move through you without resistance. Let nothing stick. A true mirror reflects, but does not cling. Your mind can be that mirror. Someone criticizes you. See it? Let it go. A memory arises. Feel it. Let it pass. A fear whispers. Hear it. Don't hold it. As the Zen saying goes, let your heart be like the sky, open, vast, untouched by passing clouds. The deep silence within you is not empty. It is wise. It is patient. It is peaceful. And in that silence you realize you were never the thoughts. You were never the noise. You were the awareness behind it all. You were not the waves. You were the ocean, always. A final practice. Sit now. Just sit. No goals. No tasks. No affirmations. Feel your breath. Feel your body. Feel the silence beneath it all. And say gently in your heart, "I let go. I return to now. I am free." Closing reflection. The Zen master smiles. He does not give you more teachings, only silence. Because now you understand, truth doesn't need to be chased. It only needs to be uncovered. And what remains when all else is gone? That quiet presence, that silent peace that is you. Let this be your final mantra. I am not what I have. I am not what I fear. I am not what others see. I am the space in which all things rise and fall. Calm, awake, free. Shall we rest here for now? Or would you like to begin a new journey? Perhaps on boundaries, healing, solitude, or the art of mindful joy? The Zen master explains, you're not your thoughts. You are the silence behind them. You don't need to escape the world to find peace. You just need to stop feeding the noise. Gratitude is your final weapon. When the mind is busy, it hunts for what's wrong. But in silence, you begin to see what's right. Gratitude is not just saying thank you. It's seeing beauty in a sip of warm tea, the smile of a stranger, the soft breeze on your skin. That's where freedom lives. Not in huge goals, but in tiny awareness. The Zen master teaches, he who knows he already has enough is truly rich. You don't need to finish the journey. You only need to take the next step. Many seekers want to become fully awakened, but that's just another trap of the mind. Truth is simple. You're not on a path to become someone. You are returning to who you've always been. No race, no finish line, no competition, just one breath, one step, and then the next. The tree doesn't rush to grow. It trusts the season. You don't need to be perfect. Just be present. The world doesn't need your pain. It needs your peace. Yes, you were hurt. Yes, you were betrayed. Yes, you were ignored. But what now? Will you carry it forever? Will you gift your pain to others, in your tone, your choices, your silence? Or will you be the one who ends the chain, Let your healing be your quiet gift to the world. You don't have to shout your strength. Just live it. Breathe it. Be it. Say less. Be more. The Zen master doesn't talk much. He smiles more than he speaks. He walks slowly. He listens deeply. Why? Because peace is not taught. It is felt. You don't need fancy words. You don't need to win arguments. You just need to embody calm. Be the still one in the storm. Be the quiet light in a noisy room. That is the real teaching. Before you leave, give yourself permission to be free. This is the last part of the journey, the final release. You've walked far. You've seen your shadows. You've understood your mind. Now, let it all go. Not because you should, not because the Zen master says so, but because you're ready, and peace is your birthright. Close your eyes. Breathe. Just be. No guilt, no anger, no mask, no fear. Just you. In silence, with nothing to prove. The Zen master speaks one last time. You have learned enough. Now live it. Walk gently. Speak kindly. Let go quietly. And return often to the silence within. Final words from Insightful Journey. If this journey touched even one small part of you, know this space is always here for you. Wisdom. Woven is your quiet home for peace, truth, and silent transformation. But before you go, a small request. So many walks with us here, but only 0.2% subscribe. If these words gave you peace or even just one deep breath of relief, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. It's a simple act, but it helps us reach many more hearts in need of stillness. Until next time, be still, be light, be free. Move aside, the warrior shouted. I am stronger than you. The monk smiled, said nothing, and walked on. Later the students asked, Master, why didn't you respond? The monk replied, when someone offers you a gift and you don't accept it, who does it belong to? They answered, to the giver. The monk said, exactly. I did not accept his ego. It is still his. That's the way. You don't need to fight ego with more ego. You simply don't take the bait. You stay grounded. You stay calm. Now ask yourself, who are you when you're not trying to prove anything? Who are you when no one is watching? That is closer to your real self. Letting go of ego doesn't make you weak. It makes you real. You stop performing. You start living. You don't have to win. You don't have to shine. You just have to be. And when you are truly present, without the ego's noise, something beautiful happens. You feel peace. A peace that doesn't depend on praise or power. A peace that doesn't rise and fall with your status. A peace that simply is. In Buddhism, this is called anatta, the principle of no self. It doesn't mean you don't exist. It means the fixed idea of I is loosened, flexible, open, light, like a bird in the sky, flying, but not holding anything. Take a moment now. Sit still. Imagine yourself as space, open, clear, limitless. No name, no title, no story, just this breath, just this moment. You are not your job. You are not your mistakes. You are not your success. You are not your past. You are not your fears. You are not even your thoughts. You are the awareness behind them all, watching, witnessing, free. Each time you feel the need to prove something, pause, smile, and ask yourself, is this my truth? Or is this my ego speaking? That one simple question can save you from so much pain. People spend years chasing dreams, breaking relationships, and battling endlessly, all because of ego. Ego says, I must win. Wisdom says, I must understand. And when you truly understand the ego, you won't hate it. You won't fight it. You'll just see it clearly for what it is. A passing cloud in the sky of your mind. It comes and goes, but you are the sky. From that place of awareness, you become both soft and strong, able to forgive, able to accept, able to love, without needing anything in return. This is what the Buddha taught. Not to fight the world, but to see through the illusion. Ego is the greatest illusion, and once you see through it, you are free. So from today, begin watching the ego. Don't shout at it, just smile, and return to silence. Because in silence, ego cannot survive. And in that silence, you will finally meet your true self. The leaves whispered secrets, secrets only a still heart could hear. The master turned to his disciple and asked, "Tell me, child, when a flame burns for too long, what happens?" The disciple replied, "It dies out, or it burns everything." The master nodded. Anger is the same. When it rises, it blinds. When it stays, it destroys. But when seen clearly, it vanishes, like morning mist. And so we begin today's journey into the truth of anger. A truth many avoid, but one that, when faced, can set the soul free. Anger visits everyone, the old, the young, the wise, the innocent. No one is untouched. But what separates peace from pain is not the presence of anger. It is how we respond. Most people believe anger comes from others. He made me angry. She insulted me. Life is unfair. But the Buddha taught a deeper truth. Anger doesn't come from the outside. It rises from within, like smoke from firewood hidden beneath the surface. Yes, the spark may be external, but the fire? That's inside. We get angry because we expect. We expect others to treat us a certain way. We expect life to follow our plans. We expect love, respect, attention, and results. And when those expectations are not met, anger slips in, quietly, like a thief. First it takes your peace, then your words, then your wisdom. But the wise don't suppress anger, and they don't explode. They watch, they sit with it. They let it rise without letting it lead. One day, a student asked a Zen master, "Should I express my anger or hide it?" The master smiled and said, "Do neither. Sit with it, feel it, let your body sense it. But don't let it guide your tongue or your actions. Let it pass. Anger is like a storm. If you don't walk into it, it will pass over you." Here is a quiet truth. Anger hurts you more than it hurts others. The moment you raise your voice, your breath shortens, your chest tightens, your heart races. Even if the other person is wrong, you are the one suffering most. It is you who burns. Think of it like this. If someone insults you and you pick up a hot coal to throw at them, who gets burned first? You do. That's what anger is. A burning coal we hold, hoping to hurt someone else, while scorching ourselves. But what about injustice? What if we have truly been wronged? The Zen master replies, "Then act, not with fire, but with clarity. You can speak truth without shouting. You can walk away without hatred. You can take a stand without burning inside. Anger never brings true justice, only more pain. Justice with wisdom is like water. It cools and heals. Justice with anger is like oil. It spreads the fire. Let me tell you a story. There was once a peaceful monk, calm and kind. One day, a man came to the temple, full of rage. He shouted, insulted, accused. The monk said nothing. The next day, the man returned, angrier than before. "Why didn't you say anything? Are you afraid?" The monk smiled gently and asked, "If someone offers you a gift and you do not accept it, who does the gift belong to?" The man replied, "To the giver." "Exactly," the monk said. "Your anger is your gift. I do not accept it." Such wisdom, such power. In silence. The monk didn't suppress emotion. He simply chose not to receive the poison. And you can do the same. Anger is not something to fight with force. It dissolves with understanding. There are three faces of anger. Hot anger, loud, explosive, quick to rise. Cold anger, silent treatment, bitterness, hidden resentment, buried anger, long-held grudges, unspoken wounds, deep scars. Which one lives in you? Often we believe we've let go of anger, but it still hides. In Buddhist practice, we use mindfulness to shine light on it. The next time anger rises, try this. Pause. Breathe slowly. Feel where it lives in your body, your chest, your head, your stomach. Then gently say, "This is anger. It is not me. It is just passing through." In that moment, you stop being the fire. You become the witness. Another practice, compassion. If someone hurts you, think, maybe they are hurting inside. Maybe they are unaware. Maybe if I respond with peace, they'll see something different. This is not weakness. This is the deepest strength. Anyone can shout, but it takes true power to stay calm. The Buddha once said, holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. And that's what we do. We relive arguments, replay insults, hold on to pain from years ago. But the other person, they may have moved on, they may have forgotten. So why are we still carrying it? Let it go. Zen teaches, forgiveness is not for the other person. It is for your own freedom. It doesn't mean what they did was right. It means you choose peace over pain. Sometimes, anger doesn't even come from the outside. It comes from tiredness, from feeling invisible, from sadness or fear. So ask yourself, what is beneath my anger? Is it loneliness? Is it hurt? Is it fear? The moment you ask honestly, healing begins, not just of the anger, but of the root beneath it. Every night before you sleep, reflect gently. Who made me angry today? Why did it affect me? Can I let it go now? With each small release, you feel lighter, you sleep deeper, you live more fully. A Zen master once told his students, if you truly want peace, delete anger before it deletes your happiness. So simple, so true. Let's end this part with a gentle reminder you can carry in your heart. Anger is a visitor, not a master. You can feel it, acknowledge it, even bow to it. But you do not have to serve it tea. Let it pass, like the wind, like the rain, like a drifting cloud. You are not your anger. You are the vast, open sky, far above the storm. Attachment. The invisible chains under the Bodhi tree. The Zen master sat in silence, still grounded, smiling. A weary seeker approached, eyes heavy with exhaustion. "Master," the seeker asked, "why do I suffer so much? Why is my mind always restless? I try to hold on to people, dreams, success, love, but everything keeps slipping away." The master opened his eyes gently and said, "Because, my child, you are holding sand in your fist and calling it treasure." Attachment. Such a small word, yet such a powerful trap. We often think pain comes from loss, but deeper than loss is attachment. Not the thing itself, but our need to keep it. That person, that dream, that memory. It was never truly ours to own, and yet we hold on as if it were. Let's look at our daily lives. We get attached to many things, not just people. We cling to roles. I'm a good mother. I'm a successful man. I'm always kind. There's nothing wrong with these roles until we grip them too tightly. Then one day the child grows distant, the job ends, the kindness goes unnoticed, and suddenly our identity shakes because we tied our worth to something outside of us. Zen teaches life is like a flowing river. People, moments, and emotions are leaves drifting on the water. Try to grasp them, and you drown. Here's a story. 2 monks were traveling when they reached a river. There, a woman needed help crossing. One monk lifted her and carried her across, an action normally avoided in their practice. Hours later, the younger monk, still fuming, asked, "Why did you touch that woman?" "That's against our path." The elder monk smiled and said, "I left her by the river. You're still carrying her. That's the weight of silent attachment. We carry what should have been set down long ago. Now let's talk about love. Love is not attachment. But we often confuse the two. Love says, I want you to be free. Attachment says, I want you to be mine. Love embraces growth. Attachment resists it. Think of someone you love deeply. Now ask yourself honestly, am I loving them freely? Or are they living inside a cage I've created in my mind? That cage might be built from expectations, jealousy, control, or fear. Attachment not only hurts us, it creates suffering for others too. We say, I love you, but sometimes we mean, don't leave me. Stay the way I want you to be. But nothing in life stays the same. The Buddha taught, everything is impermanent, anicca. This is not a sorrowful truth. It's a liberating one. When we accept change, we suffer less. We stop clinging to what's fading and start embracing what's real. When you tie your peace to someone's behavior, you'll suffer every time they change. When you cling to a past version of yourself, you'll struggle every time life pulls you forward. Attachment is like wearing clothes that no longer fit. You can keep them, but you won't feel free. But Master, the seeker asked, should we not care about people or things? Should we walk away from everything? The Zen master smiled, care deeply, love fully, but hold gently. Hold life like you would a butterfly. You don't crush it to keep it. You hold it softly and release it when it's time. That is the essence of non-attachment. You can own a home without being owned by it. You can enjoy success without fearing its end. You can love someone and still let them grow in their own direction. Let's bring this to the everyday. Maybe you're attached to your phone, checking it every few minutes. A missed reply spirals into anxiety. That's not connection, that's quiet addiction. Maybe you're attached to old wounds, retelling the same story over and over, reliving the same pain. But what if you let the wound breathe? What if you could say, yes, it happened, and now I am healing? In Buddhism, there's a word, upadana, clinging, and the Buddha taught clinging leads to suffering. Try this simple practice. Take a deep breath. Think of something you've been holding on to, a person, a pain, a belief, a dream, and quietly say in your heart, I see you, I thank you, I release you. This doesn't mean forgetting. It doesn't mean stop caring. It means you no longer need it to be a certain way in order to feel peace. Now let's talk about the future. Many suffer because they are attached to an image of how life should be. By 30, I should have this. My marriage should look like that. If I do good, only good should come. But life is not a vending machine. We don't practice kindness expecting a specific reward. We act from truth and let go of the outcome. That is freedom. A Zen master once said to a seeker, chop wood, carry water, let go of the fruit. It means do your work, show up with honesty, but don't cling to what comes next. Here's a story. A traveler once asked a monk, how do I find peace? The monk replied, drop the weight. But I'm not carrying anything, said the man. The monk smiled, then dropped the invisible one. We all carry invisible bags, bags full of past regrets, future fears, old lovers, former versions of ourselves, plans that didn't bloom. You don't need to throw them out with noise. You simply need to stop carrying them in your heart, silently, slowly, and you begin to feel lighter. To live without attachment is not to live without love. In fact, it is to love more purely. Because now love is not tangled in fear or control. You begin to love like the sky, spacious, open, without needing to trap the bird that flies across. You begin to let go without bitterness. You stop chasing what was never meant to stay. You trust the flow. You trust yourself. You no longer beg the world to give you what it may never offer. The Zen master closed his eyes and spoke softly. You are not what you hold. You are the one who watches. You are not what you fear to lose. You are what remains when everything is gone, and when you truly understand this. Even silence begins to feel like home. Let go. Not because you're weak, but because you're strong enough to set yourself free. Envy and comparison, the thieves of inner peace. Beneath the old Bodhi tree, the Zen master sat quietly. A soft breeze rustled the leaves. A young student approached with troubled eyes and a heavy heart. "Master," he said, "why do I feel like I'm never enough? Why does everyone else seem richer, happier, more fulfilled than me?" The master smiled gently and placed a hand on his shoulder. "Come sit," he said. "Let me tell you about two silent thieves, envy and comparison. They don't knock, they don't shout. They slip quietly into the cracks of your mind and steal your peace. The beginning of envy. Envy begins when we stop watching ourselves and start watching others. It takes root when we see someone succeed and think, why not me? It grows when we measure life not by what we have, but by what we don't. The master said, imagine walking your own road, but you keep turning your head to watch someone else's. You stumble, not because your path is wrong, but because you stopped looking where you were going. In our modern world, this thief lives in many places. Social media, gossip, silent comparisons. One moment, your content. Then a photo, a post, a casual remark, and your joy disappears. The mind's mirror. The master picked up a clear bowl of water. This is your mind when it's calm. You can see clearly. But when envy enters, it's like dropping black ink into the bowl. Everything becomes cloudy. When you compare, you use a broken mirror. You forget your own light, your own blessings, your own growth. All you see is someone else shining, and you begin to hate your own shadow. But remember, another's light does not make your candle burn less. If they are shining, let them shine. So can you. Why comparison never ends. The master sighed and said, comparison is a race with no finish line. Even the richest compare. Even the famous envy someone. Even the most beautiful feel small when they compare. There will always be someone ahead and someone behind. If you keep looking sideways, you will never know peace. It's like running on a circular track, forever chasing someone who never stops. The poison you drink. The Buddha once said, envy is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. When you envy, they don't suffer. You do. You create stories. They're lucky. They don't work hard. Life is unfair. And those stories become wounds, pain you carry for no reason. Envy never solves a problem. It only deepens it. You don't become better by resenting someone's success. You become better by understanding your own path. Silent comparison destroys gratitude. Gratitude and comparison cannot live in the same heart. Gratitude says, I am enough. Comparison says, I lack. One brings peace, the other brings pain. So ask yourself, am I choosing peace or pain? Am I seeing what I lack or what I have? The master said, eyes that always look at others forget to see the garden blooming inside their own soul. The story of two seeds. The Zen master smiled and told this final story. Two seeds lay buried in the same soil. One looked up and said, look at the sun. I want to grow toward that light. You may continue from here in your next section. The other seed looked sideways and said, look how fast he's growing. Why am I not growing like that? The first seed grew tall and strong, rooted deep, reaching for the light. The second remained small, bitter, and angry. Not because the soil was bad, but because he never focused on his own growth. You too are a seed. You can grow beautifully, fully, but only when you stop comparing your pace to someone else's. The fake world of appearances. In today's world, we see polished surfaces, but not the cracks beneath. People show their best, but rarely their sleepless nights, hidden tears, or secret fears. That friend who looks like they have it all. They may feel broken inside. The person with the big house, they might have no one to talk to at night. That flawless face you see on your screen, they might cry themselves to sleep. So why compare your real life to someone else's highlight reel? The master said, do not trust the smile of a mask. Look at your own face in the mirror and smile for real. Living without the thieves now. Imagine a life where you feel no envy, where you're proud of your own path, where you celebrate others without doubting yourself. That is true freedom. That is what Buddhism teaches. Contentment. Contentment isn't laziness. It's peace. It's the quiet knowing. I am where I need to be. I will grow in my time. I trust my journey. When you delete envy and comparison in silence, you create space. And in that space, peace blooms like a flower. How to let go silently. Letting go of envy doesn't need drama. You don't need to shout, I don't care anymore. You don't need to post fake confidence or force a smile. You simply begin to notice. When the thief enters your mind, gently say, this is comparison. I don't need it. Then return to your own path. Plant your seeds, water your soil, send your own garden. The master said, the most beautiful tree never asks who's watching. It just grows. A practice for today. If envy visits you today, pause and breathe. Then ask yourself, what is one thing I'm truly grateful for right now? What is one thing I love about my journey? What is one small step I can take today? Just for me. Answer quietly. No one needs to know, but you will feel the shift. That is the quiet power of letting go. The Zen master turned to the student and said, you asked why you don't feel enough. The answer is simple. You keep looking away from yourself. Turn inward. Your peace is waiting. The student closed his eyes, and for the first time in a long while he felt stillness. The comparison was gone. The envy was silent, and the path ahead was his own. Overthinking, the noise that drowns wisdom. The Zen master sat quietly by the river. The water flowed softly beneath the moonlight. A student came forward and asked, Master, why do I feel so tired, even when I haven't done much? The master smiled and replied, because you're doing too much, inside your mind. Overthinking, the noise that drowns wisdom. It makes you replay the same moment over and over, like a broken song stuck in your head. And this is where suffering begins. Because the mind doesn't stop on its own. The more attention we feed it, the louder it becomes. It grows hungry for more to fear, more to remember, more to control. And before we know it, overthinking becomes a habit, a noise we no longer question. But here's the gentle truth. We can stop. We don't need to fight the thoughts. We don't need to silence them with force. We only need to watch them like clouds drifting across the sky, like leaves floating on a quiet river. Just notice. Let them come. Let them go. This is the way of Zen, not suppression, but observation. There's a story. A warrior came to the Zen master and said, my thoughts are like wild horses. I try to stop them, but they only run faster. The master handed him a warm cup of tea and said, drink slowly. Watch how the steam rises and then disappears. Your thoughts are the same. Overthinking loses its power when we stop chasing it. when we pause, when we breathe, when we return to our body, when we walk slowly, when we eat without distraction, when we listen deeply, we come back to this moment. Simple acts, profound peace. One of the greatest tools to calm the mind is the breath. The breath is always here, always now. It doesn't live in the past or wander to the future. When you're lost in thought, just breathe. Slowly, gently. Let your breath become your anchor. And ask yourself, is this thought useful? Is it helping me right now? If the answer is no, let it pass. Not every thought deserves your time. Often overthinking is a symptom of fear. We try to control life with our minds because we don't fully trust the flow. But life is not a puzzle to be solved. It is a river to be felt. And the more we let go, the lighter we become. In Buddhism, we are reminded all things rise and fall. Emotions, thoughts, memories, they come like waves. But you are not the wave. You are the ocean. The Zen master teaches, don't take every thought so seriously. Just because a cloud looks dark doesn't mean it will rain. Just because a thought feels scary doesn't mean it's true. Stillness isn't the absence of thought. Stillness is the awareness of thought. And from that awareness, wisdom arises. Here's a small practice when your mind feels too loud. Pause. Close your eyes. Feel your feet against the ground. Take one slow breath, then another, and say quietly to yourself, I am here. This moment is enough. A student once asked the master, how do I stop thinking so much? The master replied, you don't. You stop believing everything you think. The path of silence is not empty. It is full of answers. In the space between thoughts, in that quiet pause. That is where truth lives. And in that silence, you begin to hear again, not the voice of fear, not the echo of doubt, but the soft whisper of your true self. Let go of the noise. Return to now. Toxic relationships, cutting the cord with compassion. The Zen master once said, life whispers before it screams. Cutting ties doesn't always look like shouting, blocking, or slamming doors. In fact, Buddhism teaches that the most powerful detachment is the quiet kind. You don't need to hate anyone. You don't even need to hurt them. You simply step back, softly, slowly, with love. Sometimes your silence will be misunderstood. People may call you selfish. Let them. They are only speaking from their own pain, from their wounds and patterns. You're not here to fix everyone. You're here to heal yourself. And from that healing, you become a source of true peace for the world. The master once shared a story. A disciple said, Master, I left someone I loved because they were hurting me. But now, I feel guilt. The master placed a stone in his hand. Hold this tightly, he said. The disciple gripped it until his hand ached. Now drop it. The moment the stone fell, relief rushed in. The master smiled. That's what letting go feels like. The pain was never love. It was the grip. Not everyone is meant to walk with you forever. Some people belong to a few pages, not the whole book. And that's okay. You're not walking away in anger. You're walking away in clarity. You're not punishing them. You're protecting yourself. And sometimes, the most toxic voice is the one in your own head. The one that tells you to stay, to endure, to believe they'll change. Or worse, that this is all I deserve. Silence that voice. Listen instead to your soul. Buddhism says, if you cannot find a wise companion, walk alone. Alone does not mean lonely. It means free. It means clear. Walking alone in peace is far better than walking with those who dim your light. But always, step back with softness. No need to argue. No need to explain. You're not responsible for another's growth. only your own. Let them walk their path, you walk yours. Toxic people often return when they see your light return. They may come with sweet words, with promises. But the Zen master reminds, look at the pattern, not the words. Has their nature changed, or only their mask? True change is rare. Don't fall for illusions. Protect your peace, like you protect your breath. Letting go is not the death of love. It is the birth of self-respect. When you walk away from what drains you, you make space for what heals you, for genuine love, true friendship, inner joy. The Zen master whispers, let your life be like a quiet lake. Don't let stones disturb its stillness. If someone cannot add to your calm, let them pass, like the wind. And so you cut the cord, in silence, in strength, in stillness. And with that, you finally breathe. You let go, gently, lovingly, completely, and begin again. Craving and desire. The bottomless pit. A young man once came to the Zen master and asked, why do I always feel so empty inside? I have a good job, good clothes, a good phone. People admire me, and yet something still feels missing. The Zen master smiled and handed him a small bowl. Then slowly he filled it with water. But he did not stop when it was full. He kept pouring until the water overflowed and spilled everywhere. This is your life, the master said. No matter how much you pour in, if the bowl has no base, it can never hold anything. It will always leak. Desire is like that. You feed it, but it's never full. You give it what it wants, and it asks for more. Let's understand how desire tricks us. 1. Desire pretends to be your friend. It whispers, just get this one thing, and you'll be happy. But the moment you get it, your mind has already moved to something else. It never lets you settle. It never says, this is enough. That's not a friend. That's a prison guard in disguise. 2. Desire is addictive. The more you feed it, the more it grows. Like a fire, it begins small. But the moment you give it wood, it becomes wild. You start wanting not out of need, but out of habit, out of restlessness. This is why even billionaires cry, not because they don't have enough, but because enough keeps moving. 3. Desire makes you blind. It hides the treasures already in your hands. The breath you're taking, the peace after rain, the comfort of deep sleep, a kind voice, a quiet morning. Desire says, ignore that. Look ahead, want more. So you forget how rich you already are. 4. Desire creates quiet suffering through comparison. You start watching others. They're ahead of me. They're better. They have what I want. But behind what? Behind someone else's dream. This is not life. This is silent torment. Now listen deeply. 5. Desire cannot be killed by force. You cannot just say, I don't want anything. The mind doesn't work that way. The more you fight a desire, the more it clings. The secret is not to destroy it, but to observe it, to see how hollow it truly is. 6. When a desire arises, don't chase it. Don't push it away. Just watch. Like a leaf floating down a stream. Ask gently, why do I want this? What do I think it will give me? Often the answer is an illusion, fed by fear, habit, or the noise of the world. 7. Practice contentment, not loudly, quietly. Look around and whisper, this is enough. Feel your breath. Sip your water slowly. Notice the wind touching your skin. These are not small things. They are miracles. But we miss them, always chasing the next big thing. Contentment does not mean you stop growing. It means you stop growing from hunger. You start growing from peace. 8. Desire is not evil, but it needs a master. You can want without being owned. You can dream without being driven mad, Be like the lotus, rising clean from the mud. Live in the world, but don't drown in it. Let desires come. Let them go. Let life unfold. You don't have to chase everything. 9. Craving drains the soul. Have you felt tired without doing anything? That's not your body. It's your spirit, always wanting, always planning, always comparing. That's what tires you. True rest begins when you stop chasing, when you just sit and breathe and be. The Zen master says, if you sit by the river long enough, you'll see all your desires float by. You don't have to jump in, let them pass. 10. Gratitude is the medicine. Each time a desire rises, pause. Name 3 things you're grateful for. I have clean water, I have eyes that see, I have someone who cares. Desire says, not enough. Gratitude whispers, more than enough. Only one of them gives you peace. So, dear listener, desire is not your enemy, but it is not your guide either. If you follow it blindly, it will lead you into a desert where you walk forever, searching for a mirage. Instead, stop, sit, watch, understand. You already have so much. You already are so much. But you'll only see it when you stop looking everywhere else. And remember, the quieter you become, the more clearly you'll hear what your soul truly needs. Not what the world told you to want, but what your heart has whispered all along. The path is silent. The release is gentle. And the freedom? It's already within you. Fear and insecurity. The shadows of the mind. One evening a student came to the Zen master, eyes heavy with worry. He said, Master, I feel scared all the time. I fear the future. I fear what people think. I fear not being enough. The master smiled gently and replied, Fear is a shadow. It follows only when your light is behind you, instead of within you. So let us sit now, quietly, like a still lake under moonlight, and speak softly of fear and insecurity, the silent thieves of peace. 1. Fear is not born in the world. It is born in the mind. Fear starts when we imagine a future that hasn't happened, and then treat that imagination as truth. You fear rejection before anyone rejects you. You fear losing before you've even begun. You fear falling behind, though you are walking your own path. But nothing has happened. It's just a story your mind has told. And here's the secret. You don't have to believe every story. A monk once asked, But Master, what if I fall? The master smiled and said, but what if you fly? Fear only shows you the darkest possibilities. Wisdom reminds you that the darkest path is the one you never take because you are too afraid to walk. 2. Insecurity is the soft whisper that says, you are not enough. You look at others and believe they are more confident, more loved, more successful. But you forget, a seed never grows by staring at the flower beside it. It grows by rooting deeply in its own soil. The flower never worries. The tree never asks if its leaves are green enough. Only humans carry this strange sadness, this burden of comparison. Insecurity is not natural. We were taught it, taught by broken systems, by critical voices, by the world that always says, be more, do more, look better. But the truth is, you were enough before the world told you otherwise. 3. Fear steals the present moment. It keeps you lost in yesterday's regrets or tomorrow's worries. The master once asked a student, Where are you right now? The student said, Here with you. The master smiled. Your body is here, but your mind is in tomorrow. That is what fear does. It pulls your mind away from your breath, your body, this moment. Try this now. Take one slow, full breath. Inhale, exhale. Did fear visit you in that breath? Number. Because when you are fully present, fear has no doorway. 4. Fear grows when you feed it. A small thought, what if, becomes a wildfire in the mind. You think, you worry, you spiral, and now a passing thought has become a monster. The Zen way is simple. Don't fight fear. Don't feed it either. Just name it, watch it, and let it pass. Say gently to yourself, this is just fear. This is just a thought. And in that soft awareness, fear weakens. 5. Insecurity makes you forget who you are. When you listen to it too long, you begin to believe it. You think you're your flaws. You think you're your past. You think you're your failures. But listen, you are not your scars. You are the light that survived them. You are not broken. You are human. Even the moon has shadows. Yet it lights up the entire night sky. Do not let any voice, even your own, tell you that you are not worthy. You are here. You are breathing. That is already enough. 6. Fear of judgment is a cage. So many lives, small, silent lives, not because they lack dreams, but because they fear disapproval. They wear masks. They walk carefully. They hide their truth. But hear this. People will judge you anyway, whether you succeed or fail, whether you speak or stay quiet. So why not live honestly? The Zen master said, when you stop performing, you start living. Drop the act. Be real. That's freedom. 7. The more you trust, the less you fear. Fear grows when you don't trust life or your own strength. But trust is like water. The more it flows, the more it clears away fear. Trust that you can handle whatever comes. Trust that even if you fall, you will rise. Trust that this moment is enough, and so are you. In closing, the Zen path teaches that fear is not your enemy, but neither is it your guide. It is a shadow, and shadows only exist when we forget that the light is within us. So pause, breathe, feel the ground beneath you, and remember, you are not your fear. You are not your doubts. You are the stillness beneath the storm. You are the sky and fear. Just passing clouds. Let them pass. Let yourself return. And in that quiet space, you will find the peace that was never missing, only forgotten. Regret and guilt. The weight of the past continued. There was once a monk who always looked sad. He did his duties, he chanted his prayers, but his eyes carried a heaviness like dusk never leaving the sky. One day, the elder monks asked him, "Why does your heart seem always heavy, brother?" The monk replied softly, "Because I have made mistakes in my past. I carry regret like a stone in my chest. I fear I am not worthy of peace." The elder monk sat beside him, and with great stillness said, "Do you think you're the only one who has made mistakes? Even the river must wash away yesterday's dirt to flow fresh again today. We all carry things we wish we could undo, words we wish we hadn't said, people we wish we hadn't hurt, moments we wish we could return to. But here is a truth. We cannot go back. But we can go forward lighter. You are not the same person who made that mistake. You have grown, you have wept, you have understood, and understanding is the beginning of wisdom. In the Buddha's teachings, guilt is not meant to chain you. It is meant to awaken you. If it leads you to be more kind, more compassionate, more mindful, then it has done its work. But if it only causes suffering, it is time to bow to it and let it go. Think of it this way. A farmer doesn't keep broken tools. He learns from them, then sets them down. Your past is not a prison. It is a path. And you do not need to walk it with your head down. Let's try a practice together. Close your eyes. Take a soft breath. Now bring to mind a mistake. Not to judge it, but to look at it gently. Ask yourself, did I learn from this? Can I make amends or create something beautiful because of it? Is it helping me grow or only hurting me? If the answer is growth, then bow to that lesson. thank it, and begin again. Forgiveness is not weakness. It's the soft strength of the heart saying, I see my imperfections, and I still choose to walk forward in peace. Some people confuse guilt with love, thinking that to stop feeling bad means they didn't care. But hear this clearly. You can love someone deeply, honor a memory truthfully, and still be free. You do not need to suffer to prove you cared.